Hello. Today we will talk about how to determine from the chart whether a native will be very physically active and that sitting in one place will feel like a struggle for them. Going to the gym, doing something physically, and walking is essential for them. If they don't, they feel restless. On the contrary, some people are very lazy. Just say this: get me a glass of water. Once a fight breaks out, you go home and take it yourself. It is not so. Those who are physically leasing, lethargic, are like that mentally also. They focus mentally. Lagna in the fifth house means mental skills matter. For example, if the Lagna Lord is placed in the fifth house, the native's entire focus will be on mental abilities. They might think, what can I learn today? More than physical ability, what have I learned? If the Lagna Lord is placed in the fourth house, it can create a sense of comfort and leisure for them. What can I learn? Today, I learned more than just physical ability. The placement of the Lagna Lord in the fourth house can create a sense of comfort and leisure. The placement of the Lagna Lord in the second house indicates convenience and resources because resources are easily available. Because hardworking people are also those who have to work hard. Lagna Lord in the third house enjoys effort, changes if unsupported. In the fourth house or in an enemy sign. No benefits in the fifth house with a non-supportive sign. If the sign doesn't support the Lagna Lord in the fourth house, changes occur, even if comfortable. No benefit if Lagna. Even if you are at a comfort level, you still won't benefit if the Lagna Lord is placed in the fifth house and in a sign that doesn't allow you to learn. Lagna, Lord, in the third house affects traits. Unstable signs may cause laziness. Identify active, alert people by zodiac signs. If the amount is not constant or contributing words, physical attributes there. So today we will understand how to determine, according to the zodiac signs, houses and elements, who are the people that are always aggressive and alert. These individuals won't sit in one place at a party. They will roam around, talk to everyone all over the place. On the other hand, there are some people who, once seated, will stay put. You can go and talk to them, and that's fine, but they won't come to you. Let's start with lazy bonus. Astrological combinations, how to see if someone is physically lazy or if they are always active. They are always visiting something. We are first talking about the signs. When we talk about laziness, we are referring to the qualities of the signs, particularly their mobility, whether they are mutable signs, dual signs, or fixed signs. So the fixed signs, which are the stable signs, tend to resist change. They are slow to adapt. So the first thing is that it will make you a person who prefers stability. Stability in your life also means stability in your body as well. Right. So what about Taurus? Everyone knows that it's a fixed sign and also an earth element sign. So it shakes the earth in both ways. When we talk about such elements, shaking the earth is the most difficult thing to do. So Taurus tends to have that habit. Material comfort leads to a laid back attitude. So, because of all these factors, having the Lagna Lord in Taurus makes you a comfort lover. They don't like to work hard until pushed to the course. The symbol of Taurus is the bull, which is a very hard-working animal, but it has to be made to work hard. If they are not willing, then you have to make Taurus individuals work. They don't do it for joy. So the first and most important factor is having multiple planets in Taurus, or having the Lagna Lord in Taurus, meaning a rising Taurus. The more energy we receive from Taurus, the more we experience rigidity and a fixed nature. Next is Scorpio, which is a water sign. If we talk about it, fire and air are both active elements, while earth and water tend to be a bit slower. So in the fixed signs, Scorpio is also a water sign and is fixed. But what about Scorpio? It has the energy of Mars. Venus cannot be as physically assertive or aggressive. Mars is in Scorpio. It acts when protection is needed, like I must work for protection now. They need a push. You must do this, prompting Scorpio to act. They act when protection is needed, like I must work for protection now. They need a push. You must do this. And then Scorpio acts. Leo doesn't work but gets things done. You have to tell them, you will have to do this. And that's when Taurus makes Scorpio act. Scorpio acts when they feel scared. Otherwise, Scorpio likes to rest. Then there's Leo. Despite being a fire sign, Leo is a sign of kings. Kings don't work, they get things done. So their level of activity is questionable. Having more planets in Leo or in fixed signs means more planets in fixed signs. It won't make you laid back, but it will definitely make you relaxed. It will definitely make you relaxed. Aquarius is the sign of Saturn. We associate Saturn with hard work and also with laziness. Now we will talk about how to differentiate this further. And Aquarius is an air element sign. We have described air as active and alert. Air is all over the place, but it is a fixed sign. Aquarius, being an air sign, can drive you mentally, where physical hard work may not come into play, which can be seen in Capricorn. Here, when we talk more about intellectual work, our first point is fixed signs. After that, our elements are very important. The earth element is the hardest to shake, so earth signs won't work quickly. Having said that, we've already talked about Taurus being rigid. They don't like to work. But Virgo, being a dual sign, analytically accepts change. If you tell Virgo something, so they will keep saying yes, yes, and will do it. But until then, if they are not convinced, they will not change. On the other hand, Capricorn is a movable sign. Despite being an earth element, it is the sign of the cosmic man, where we see hard work. So, any planet or most planets, if they come into Capricorn, we can't call her Lizzie. They have to work. The water sign also requires energy to lift. To lift, the basic nature of water is to fall. So, to lift, we need fire, we need motor, we need power. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces aren't seen as active. Cancer acts on emotions. Because Cancer is a movable sign, Cancer acts emotionally. Scorpio is protective, Pisces is laid back. Like, for example, if she has to make food, she will get up at night and make food for you. So, they are emotionally driven. They do work for you. We talked about Scorpio. They provide protection and get up to do things because they are a fixed sign. Whereas in Pisces, lead back attitude, one duality comes. We cannot consider Pisces to be very physically active like we would consider Sagittarius. So we would say that all three signs should be active. Fire is very aggressive, physically, demanding, and commanding. So we would say that all three of our signs should be physically active. But leaving Leo aside, we talked about how they are good at leadership and commanding. They can get things done by telling others to do this or that, but they have difficulty doing things themselves. Aries is the first sign of the Kalparush, where we talk about the body. So when multiple planets come into Aries, they are extremely restless. On the other hand, Sagittarius is adventurous. They also like to do something new. They have a dynamic nature. When we talk about air element signs, we have Libra in the 3rd, 7th, and 11th positions because it is a movable sign and also an air element. She is the most action-oriented. We talked about Aquarius. It is about the mind or purpose strain. For Aquarius, finding purpose and the reason behind their actions or bringing about change becomes difficult. There will be an activity of the mind. The sign that is the lord of the zodiac is Mercury. Because to understand any sign in astrology, we also need to understand its ruling planet. And children are always playful, but the activity of Gemini can be a bit purposeless. So what we talked about is that fixed signs will give you rigidity in that too. The elements O's become very important. They want to see things together, and movable signs will make you. enthusiastic and will like change. They will stay active, stay alert. But again, the situation can change. You need to keep that in mind because their element defines their basic nature and the nature of their Lord. That touch should stay in our minds. When we talk about houses, the second, fourth, fifth, and 12th houses show comfort. The presence of the Lagna Lord, vital planets, and multiple planets in the chart indicates that if you just sit there, that's fine. The fourth house shows comfort and convenience, while the 12th house means isolation. The 12th house represents the loss of the body. There is some kinds of deficiency. If there is pain, then the 12th Lord is somewhere bad. In yoga, wherever there is form, it can also indicate weakness of the body. So again, the Lagna Lord going into the 8th or 12th house can make one lethargic. Now, why does the Lagna Lord go into the 5th house? Because here we are talking more about the mind, discussing being mentally driven while being physically driven for something will play an important role in the zodiac. Now, the Lagna Lord going into the 3rd, 6th, and 10th houses makes you responsible and hardworking. Where challenges are something you enjoy. Retrogression also shows the back and forth and duality. Retrograde, Lagna Lord, multiple planets. The Lagna Lord also creates a lack of stability, talking about planets moving forward in life. Saturn's interesting. We say that Saturn is the most hardworking planet. They say that Saturn makes you lazy, so the zodiac sign becomes important here. If Saturn is the lord of your ascendant, you also need to look at their lordship in relation to your ascendant. Sitting in zodiac sign influences you, like it. Will make you hardworking, dignity of some matters. If Saturn is influencing you while sitting in fixed signs, it will make you lazy. If it's going into reflection, it will also make you lazy. If the Lagna Lord is reflecting in the 8th or 12th house, it will make you lazy. I got the house, I got the zodiac sign, and I also got the nature of Saturn, which is influencing me. You need to see how many factors are leading you towards laziness. But being associated, it makes you diligent, right? But Jupiter is also a mentally active planet, not a physically active one. It represents wisdom and teaching, and its body profile is huge. They don't do much physical work either. The association of Saturn and Jupiter also leads the chart towards lethargy. So these two planets are the main planets. When we talk about laziness, Mars and the Sun come into play. Mars is our action taker. They are filled with energy and vitality, especially if they are placed in active signs. And in general, if our Mars is well placed in our chart, even if Mars is not the Lord, its importance does not diminish. Mars and Venus cause weight gain. When we talked about who tends to be 20 and overweight, both Mars and Venus's weaknesses spoil the body. Because the looks are getting affected, Venus is affecting the body and ruining the profile. Mars makes both of these planets important when it comes to looks. The activation of Mars E indicates physical activity. The Sun symbolizes willpower and vitality, essential for physical activity. It's not physically very active, but the state of the Sun brings vitality to your body. And to do anything physical, we need vitality in the body and motivation as well. Venus is a planet that wants to go towards comfort, luxury, and intelligence. You see, Venus has more love for its parents. They don't believe much in hard work. They want to enjoy more. Life will be influenced by Venus, which leads to intelligence or temporary satisfaction. On the other hand, a good involvement of Venus uplifts the chart, but not physical. Mars and Sun boost action. Saturn and Jupiter cause laziness due to Jupiter's debilitation. Considering Mars and the Sun in favorable positions in the 1st and 10th houses makes the chart action-oriented and hardworking. Conversely, Saturn and Jupiter's association can induce laziness. Saturn and Jupiter's debilitation occurs when Jupiter is in Saturn's sign, causing lethargy. Remember, Saturn and Jupiter's debilitation is because Jupiter is in the sign of Saturn, which leads to sluggishness. You might have heard tamasic qualities make us lazy and sluggish. You might have heard that tamasic qualities make us lazy and sluggish. Go on, then. I have explained Satan to you earlier. Satan is a tamasic tunt. How do you see it? Avoid laziness. If Mars is weak, it leads to sluggishness, but you resist. Mars is debilitated, causing sluggishness. Rahu and Ketu are energy, check dispositors. Then they are leading towards sluggishness, but they won't take you there by themselves. Rahu and Ketu are energy. Their yoga matters. Rahu in lethargic yoga enhances it. Which yogas? They are involved in because they are energy and lead towards a certain stream. If Rahu is involved in a yoga where we say it can be lethargic, then Rahu will add to that. This makes it even lazier. But otherwise, Rahu will lead you towards physical lethargy. Let's discuss some general rules about tamasic planets. Having malefic planets in the 3rd, 6th, and 10th houses makes you hardworking. But we also need to look at the Karakamsha Lagna. And how to derive the Karakamsha Lagna? Identify the planet with the highest degree. Consider the Karakamsha Lagna. Malefic planets in the 3rd, 6th, and 10th houses push you to work hard. We need to analyze that sign by creating the Lagna in the D1 chart and also consider the Karakamsha Lagna. There are malefic planets in 3, 6, 10. They make you make efforts, and due to you being hardworking, Mars becomes debilitated. It will definitely make you lethargic, whether Mars is present or not, regardless of the effect of the Lagnesh becoming weak. When we discuss the 1st house, sign, or planets, if the Lagnesh goes into the 48th house, you won't be willing or active. You'll be made to do things. That's a different matter. The lords of the 3rd and 6th houses can also get lost, which will again make a person more personal. And it also depends on whether you are active. So what is your reason? Just like we say that the association of Upachaya houses or houses should be with the Lagna, you are right that the association should be in a good house with strong combinations. If the lords of the 3rd and 6th houses are connected to the Lagna Lord, they will make you active and driven. The driven will push you to come out of it, just like Shul Yoga or Gola Yoga, which can also make you lazy. So what is Gola Yoga? Having Jupiter, Venus, and a full moon in the 9th house with the Lagna Lord and Mercury in the Lagna in the D9 chart is good. These yogas, like Saraswati Yoga or Gola Yoga, are included in physical lethargy because they are adding to mental attributes. They are making you mentally sharp. So there can be another reason that is making you physically lethargic and having no time for physical activities, just like in Gola Yoga. And being physically lethargic is not a good thing. Now, in Shul Yoga, what happens is that all the planets are placed in 3 signs. Except for Rahul and Ketu, all the other signs are malefic. This is called Shul Yoga. The thorn is like a chuban. In this yoga, what happens is that the concerned area of your life can be anything. The more scattered the planets are across different signs in the birth chart, the better it is considered. The less they are clustered together in one place, in one house, or in one angle, the better. The more they are clustered in one place, in one house, the planets are sitting in just one angle. Chart quality may cause tension, but Shul Yoga isn't lethargic. In one area, it can also happen in Shul Yoga that in this particular sector of your life, which is taking too much of your attention, that can be a reason, but Shul Yoga, by itself won't make you lethargic. Let's try to understand these combinations. From the chart, the Lagna is of the fire element. The rising Lagna has a fire element planet, which is my fifth lord, my friendly planet, even the 12th lord, which is more of my fifth lord, and it is in my Lagna with a fire impact. My Lagna lord is in the third house, although it is in a fixed sign, but it is Capricorn. It is aspected by the sun, again a fire element planet. My sun is so strong by itself. Mars is so strong. My moon is also in a fire element sign, and my moon sign is also in a fire element sign. This makes the chart very physically aggressive. Can it spend like 3 hours at the gym and always be fidgeting, doing something, always restless when it comes to physical power and strength? Look at this chart. The Lagna Lord is of the fire element rising. The Lagna Lord's second house is in a fixed sign going into Taurus. The earth element is also there, and having Rahu's aspect on Rohini Nakshatra is indeed a comfort. If you tell them to get you a glass of water, it will create a warlike situation at home. You see, the motivation of earth signs is often passive. Tell earth signs, they'll understand. They'll say, I'm going to the gym. Can't do that. See Saturn's Lagna. You mean then they rise up, they just get fidgety and say, I'm going to the gym and I'm doing something like very hard? They can't do that. Look at the Saturn's Lagna. Saturn is also looking at the Lagna from a watery sign. Saturn is not strong either. When viewing the Lagna, for this birth chart, planet isn't a significator. The 10th lord sits on its own, not assertive. Two benefic planets are in the third house. The ascendant lord is in the Rohini Nakshatra, and Rahu is amplifying comfort. If you look, there are two benefic planets in the third house of the birth chart. The ascendant lord is comfortably in the Rohini Nakshatra, and Rahu is amplifying their comfort. So, this is a perfect case where we can call them lazy or lethargic. Look at this chart where Rahu and Ketu are in the axis of movable and air element rising. The ascendant lord is in the 8th house, again in the Taurus fixed sign, which is an earth element. We mentioned that tamasic planets contribute to laziness, and that's the case here as well. You will see that multiple planets are in the movable sign, but the ascendant lord sitting in the 8th house in Taurus shows a rigidity and a lack of getting up, which reflects a really required nature. However, even though the Sun and Mars are in the 10th house, Mars is in a debilitation state. Despite being a big benefactor, Mars isn't contributing much either. Look at this chart. It has a fixed rising ascendant, and the king sign is in the ascendant. The Sun is in the 4th house in a fixed sign, specifically in Scorpio, which is a water sign. Then the nakshatra he is in is again the Indira nakshatra, where the youth gives orders and gets work done by others. There are also two Rajasic planets, Mercury and Venus, present with him. We talked about the association of Saturn and Jupiter, which contributes to lethargy. They are in a fixed sign and also in an earth element sign, specifically in the 2nd house. Additionally, Saturn is aspecting our ascendant lord. Even Mars is very strong in the 5th house, and what's happening with them is that she is comfortable in love. I wouldn't say that she is lazy. To get them up or act, it's difficult. She moves around. She loves to be active, but she cannot be harsh on her body. Staying active and doing things becomes difficult for her. For ease, she will do it, but it doesn't lead to happiness. We focus on understanding the timing of events. They will do it when it comes to comfort and convenience, but it doesn't lead to happiness. Otherwise, our main focus mostly remains on understanding the timing of events. When will marriage happen? When will child come? When will job be secured? All these things seem relevant, like what the nature will be like, what the looks will be like. But the funds know nature shows marriage chart potential. We understand the quality of the chart very well, what it can do and what it cannot do. When we match charts for marriage, we can indicate this. Because this will be the nature, you can handle them this way. At least it helps us understand the science, the planets, the nakshatras, and the houses. When we read all these significations, I hope you learned something new. Thank you so much